coming up from the trees. Put on a coat, went outside to see. A girl was feeding leaves and branches to a pile of burning debris and dancing. Sadie said, got a nice fire tonight. What's your name if you don't mind? She said, my name is Serafina, but people call me Sarah to save some time. Well, I got all the time in the world. Sadie grabbed a stick and lit it while the girl said she'd been committed as a child. Discovered her love for fire ran wild. In the asylum was a charming arson who broke out with his girl and started burning through Georgia like a moonstruck Sherman. Sarah knew what she wanted for sure then. People are who they are, she said, and I want their kind of love. We're bad together and it's good. Sadie said, let me grab some wood and booze, see if we can't keep this thing alive. So Serafina shoots Roman candles all around. Serafina smiling with matches in her mouth. Serafina wears a bright blazing crown of flowers and down. Serafina smell of gasoline in her head. Serafina cinders glow, she glows cool. Serafina in her stare burns a solar flare. Months went by and they were happy, setting fire to trashed mattresses, cars with tickets on their dashes, mannequins scattered in tattered masses through the rundown mall. They take pictures for their book, rubbing the ash and the soot on each other's skin till it turned gray, and pose like dying lovers from Pompeii in an overgrown lot. They fucked till it got too hot, lying on top of a burning blanket. They hopped up and stood there naked, smoking cigarettes and coughing. Sarah threw her lighter in, heard it popping. We gotta keep it up, Sadie, no stopping. We gotta keep it up, Sadie, we're not stopping. They watched as the wind caught, the fire spread a little further and died off. Sadie said, I'm gonna buy us an old house in a big town, and we can start a life and burn it all to the ground. Serafina shoots Roman candles all around. Serafina smiling with matches in her mouth. Serafina wears a bright blazing crown of flowers and down. Serafina throws firecrackers at their feet. Serafina they start dancing, dancing while they sing. Serafina throws her dress in the flames. Black sequins riding, black sequins shine. Serafina they sing, we'll never die. Serafina we'll burn and cry, we'll never die.
That was Serafina on Whoosh Radio. This is Whoosh 24 from the 4x2 Fuck You Punk stage. I'm Simon Le Bon, and here is Katy Krassner.
Hello, Simon Le Bon. Thank you for telling me to hit record before we started. Exactly. Don't know what I would do without you.
Really?
That was, when I first saw this track come across to me, with the name Bambara, I think I thought it was going to be a different kind of music, but I heard a little surfer guitar in that. So then I did some research, and they're a post-punk band.
Yes,
from
they are, aren't they?
Brooklyn, New York. Yeah. And two brothers and one friend, and they use machines and loops and assorted lo-fi software. And they sort of were dubbed by the press as noise rock.
Really? I think they're really. I just think they've definitely got an American vibe about them.
Yeah.
But mainly because of the vocal, obviously. There's something. They remind me a little bit of the Cramps, a little bit. When that track opens, I'm taken straight back to Billy Idol's White Wedding. It's got a very similar kind of feel to it. I almost expect him to come in with, "Hey, little sister, what have you done?"
Really? That's so
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. I mean, but it's a great track, isn't it? What a great way to start our show.
Well, that's funny you say that because Fader called the song a love song for suburban Armageddon. And
right.
that really ties into White Wedding. So, how are you? Did you have a good week?
I have had a very, very, very good week. I've been in the studio with the boys.
Yeah.
We've removed one of the songs, which it's one of the stars of the new album. Not allowed to give away any titles as usual.
No.
I think it had the working title Mr. Jones though. That's not what it's like at all. It's funny because we did actually have a song called Mr. Jones on the previous album, but it bears no resemblance whatsoever. Anyway, that's by the by. We moved it right back up into into the one of the star positions, I think, with what we did to it this week. Yeah, it's really cool.
Wait, you had a song on the wedding album called Mr. Bones.
Oh, that's right. Okay, well, this is no big deal. It actually did refer to somebody whose surname may sound like Bones, and may begin with a J, who was actually somebody who we used to be in contact with. He may or may not have been a lawyer, and he may or may not have been a real asshole to us.
Okay.
Is that suable, do you think?
No, I don't think so.
I'm not sure that Mr. Bones listens to this radio show anyway.
Yeah, and then that makes him really an asshole.
Yeah.
I think.
What if he listened to the radio show?
If he didn't listen to the radio show.
Oh, no, anybody who doesn't listen to the radio show is a complete asshole.
Who wouldn't?
Extraordinary many assholes there are in the world, Katy.
No, I don't think that many. I think a lot of people are not being assholes lately. So this is very interesting. Any chance of any more detail on your studio visit? Or that was it? Was it just the four of you?
It wasn't John, because John's not in the UK at the moment.
Oh,
so
right.
Me, Nick, and Rog, with Errol Alcan, our fab producer, and Josh Blair, our fabulous studio engineer. We've been working with Josh. He's been one of our main people for a long, long time.
I like Josh.
What's
our next track?
Okay. Next track is something I love. It's a bit of modern funk, really. It's definitely got a chicy kind of vibe to it. You're gonna hear that straight away. It's by a band called Parcels, and this is what they do. And their name is Parcels, and by the way, they're going to get the bonus track at the end of the show as well. And they have funny names like Tied Up Right Now, like a parcel is tied up. And the one we're playing at the end of the show is called Overnight. The Parcels. And they've got a real sense of humor, and they sound just like this. This is Tied Up Right Now on Whoosh.
As I look out, you're warning me. Your thoughts devour my point of view. It's true, I cower when I will speak. So let's get round to why I will be the first in line to open up, so I don't mind to give you all. So let's get round to why the one I need is tied up right now. So let's just wait a while. The one I need is tied one I need is tied up right now. So let's just wait a while. The one I need is tied up right now. So let's not draw the line, 'cause I can't make my mind up right now. So let's just wait a while. The one I need is tied up right.
Deal with it. Alright. Walking, I walk to the shop, I bop and take it steady. Fighting with my sisters in the house, she's on the couch, she don't move much. I got a tea in my hand and I'm trying to do stuff. I woke up, I slept and woke up again. Deal with it. And this life didn't ever fucking change. Deal with it. I went to the pub and asked for a pint for £3. Deal with it. He said it's a fiver, well that's gentrification, you prick. Deal with it. Walking back through my old estate, I see my mates, I hit my mates, and they don't wanna say safe, they say you've changed. Fuck, deal with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Deal with it. Fuck, deal with it. You're punishing yourself, mate, deal with it. 1% on my phone ain't getting me home, so I'm bopping. Hey, no options in this life give me nothing. Every second you waste is a second closer to the pearly gates. Ah, that's deep, innit? It's deep, mate. I woke up, I slept and woke up again. Deal with it. And this life didn't ever fucking change. Deal with it. People say I'm a nuisance, well what's the problem? Deal with it. People say they're busy, well fuck off. Deal with it. Just fucking deal with it. Deal with it. So, walking back through my old estate, I see my mates, I hit my mates, and they don't wanna say safe, they say you've changed. Oh, you've changed. Oh, you've changed. Oh, you've changed. Oh, you've changed. Fuck, deal with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Deal with it. Fuck, deal with it. Life gets hard, but it's quite exciting. Spin around, it's young, white, like they say I can't speak my mind or vent my frustration. Fucking deal with it. Say, life gets hard, but it's quite exciting. Spin around, it's young, white, like they say I can't speak my mind or vent my frustration. I wouldn't change it for anything. So, walking back through my old estate, I see my mates, I hear my mates, and they don't wanna say safe, they say you've changed. Fucking deal with it. Deal with it.
That just makes me laugh my head off, that track does.
That track was fabulous. That was Deal With It by Muramasa with Slow Tie.
I think, hang on, I'm going to stop you here. I need to stop you on your pronunciation.
Oh, God.
It's not deal with it, it's deal with it. Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Like, fuck off.
Like, yeah, like how Liam Gallagher talks. Deal with it.
Deal with it. Well,
What-
not quite.
Well, this is a very
Anyway.
Simon song. Of all the songs on the episode, this one stood out. And I did some research, of course, and Alexander Krassner is better known by his stage name Muramasa, which is an old he took his name from an old Japanese folklore tale he'd seen in a video game. He is from Guernsey.
Guernsey, you got that right.
Guernsey, okay. And is that in Blackpool?
No.
No.
No, Guernsey is one of the Channel Islands. Now, the Channel Islands are a lot closer to France than they are to Great Britain, but they are kind of, they're considered part of Great Britain. They're also, I think they've got some funny tax rules there, like you don't get taxed. My brother, who's a pilot, always wants to buy his avgas. He always wants to buy his avgas in the Channel Islands because it's cheaper because there's no tax on it.
Oh.
Now, It's a bit like Gibraltar, which is actually really close to Spain, and not at all close to Great Britain, but is considered part of Great Britain, and the Falkland Islands as well, which is close to Argentina, and known to them as Las Malvinas, obviously, but which is still considered part of Great Britain, not by everybody, obviously. And
My goodness.
that's an argument that's going to run and run and run, isn't it?
So how would one get to Guernsey from, let's say, Charing Cross?
Charing Cross. I would take a train. I'd take a train to Heathrow Airport and fly.
Oh, it's that far?
Yeah, it's because it's like flying down to Brittany. It's close to the north coast of France, in the Channel. Hence the snappily name, the Channel Islands. The name says it all.
You can see that my United States education of geography has failed me once again.
Oh, I think we all grow up. We all grow up with our own national sort of. Our educations tend to be quite sort of national centric. So we learn about what's around us. You probably learned a lot more about American geography, or perhaps you didn't.
Perhaps I didn't.
I kind of know that's the case.
You
Kat.
know that about me.
For everybody who's been listening, Katy is somebody who we call directionally challenged.
It's true.
She
Never
finds
go
it
the
very.
yeah.
So when I come to New York, it's me that shows Katy where to go.
That is true. And if we don't know where to go, Simon will say right or left, and I'll say left, and he'll go, oh, right, let's go right then,
That's because I'm dyslexic.
Yeah. So let's talk about Alexander, who is
let's do that.
Muramasa.
Yeah.
So what I didn't know about him is he is very well known for his song Lovesick with ASAP Rocky, which reached number 1 on the Spotify viral charts in the UK and the US. And he also worked with Chic, your buddy Niles band, and BTS as a producer, which means Alexander is doing very well with his bank account. And then Tyron came on. Frampton is better known by his stage name, Slow Ty, and he's a British rapper from Northampton.
Right.
And he rose to popularity in 2019 for his gritty and rough instrumentals and raw, politically charged lyrics, particularly around Brexit and Theresa May.
So I would imagine that that's his voice we're listening to.
Yeah.
I love the vocal on this track. Deal with it. Deal with it.
I like how it started.
He sounds he doesn't actually sound very Northampton to me. He sounds much more London. He's got a London accent. But he talks about the estate, which to those of you who grew up in America is what you would call the projects. And I think I get a real feeling in that song. I get a real feeling for where he grew up and what life is like in the estates. It's very tells you a lot of story. I used to go out with a girl who lived in one of those council estates back where I grew up in Pinner. It was, that place there was, there was lifts that didn't work and graffiti,
bad smells.
Sort of bad smells. I don't want to go into it actually.
Did your mom get say, oh, maybe you shouldn't be dating a girl that lives in a council estate, or did that not happen?
No, of course not. My mom, no.
Your mom would never. You're right.
No, she said she had to tell. She absolutely.
I was just gonna say it would make her love her even more. Actually, knowing your mom. Let's have a question.
Okay, yeah.
Here we go. Go. Hello, Simon and Katy. I love your radio show. Thanks for doing it, Simon. Him again. Simon, do you have a favorite lyric from a song by another artist? Thank you, Jennifer.
I love the lyrics on Patti Smith's album, Horses. I love Patti Smith's lyrics. I'm just crazy about them. I love her use of, and when she writes as well, she doesn't write with, she writes W and then /. So it's like with this and with that, And I kind of pinched that a little bit with but I just use it in as in my text, Katy, I will go with and then /. But everybody knows what it means,
right?
because contextually it makes sense. Obviously, I think, and there are great lyricists like Stormzy. I think he's a fantastic lyricist too. But I'm so taken by a track we played last week. I haven't got it out of my head. I continue to play it, and you can imagine when you're doing something like putting a playlist together every week, you don't tend to spend a lot of time going back over old ground and listening to stuff that you were playing before. But occasionally there are tracks which stick in your mind. You just have to listen to them again. And that track was "I Have a Love That Will Never Fade" by For Those I Love, which we talked about last week, and it's still resonating with me. So much so that this week's episode is called "From the 4x2 Fuck You Punk Stage," which is a line from that song, not from a song on this week's playlist.
Right. That song really stuck with me too. Really stuck with Brian as well.
Yeah.
Brian's Irish and loves sad things, so it was right up his street. But that was an amazing lyric, though. That is an amazing lyric. Really is. We heard from the guy who wrote the song. I think, and then he was really touched by your kind words. So that was nice. That was just a nice reciprocal exchange.
That is nice. That really is nice. I enjoyed it so much. That's going on my all-time. And maybe we'll do like an all-time top 10 playlist at the end of the year or something.
Yeah.
Wow. And we'll because there's a few other ones that I just think are top. I mean, actually, the Fortet remix of Tame Impala is very good. But there's things like Caveman. You Got a Feeling. I think that was much earlier on. That's probably going to be in there as well. There'll be a number. Hey, let's not talk about that now.
That's a good idea.
Let's wait. It is a good idea, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm full of them.
You are today. My gosh. Here's another question again to you. Dear Simon, can you describe the process of how musical instruments that are not played by a band member make it into a Duran Duran song? Who comes up with the idea of hiring external musicians like a saxophonist or a trumpet player or even a church choir? And at what stage of the songwriting process are these decisions made? Thank you, Michelle. That was a good question, Michelle.
Good question, Michelle. Yeah, well, usually I'll tell you this much. It usually happens towards the end of the session. Mm-hmm. Although we did on the unreleased album Reportage, we did actually get in touch with the Tower of Power, who is a horn section, fantastic horn section.
I know the Tower of Power,
very famous American horn section. We got them in very early in the session, but usually it's something that happens towards the end, and it's really happens because somebody can hear it in their head. They can hear it in the music. Or they've been listening to, you can't always get what you want, and they think it'd be a great idea to have the choir on a Duran Duran record. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Usually, with me, it's always. Actually, I don't usually come up with those ideas. It's John and Nick are the ones who usually come up with those ideas. I'm usually still like stuck in lyric, quagmire, trying to finish the words for the album. While they're twiddling their thumbs thinking, what can we do to make things more complicated? But that's life. You know what they're like.
I do.
Kidding.
Not really.
More music, please.
If you have a question for Whoosh, please send it to Whoosh Radio, WHOOOSHRADIO.com. Whoosh Radio at gmail.com. Hey, you want to hear something exciting?
Go on.
We're going to have our own website. I think by the time this episode airs, we will have our own website that we will direct people to listen to our Spotify playlist. It will be on our own website.
You mean they don't have to go through all the fabulous and the fabulously priced Duran Duran merchandise before they get to listen to the music that we've chosen?
Correct. We will have our own. We should do Whoosh t-shirts,
Yeah, we should do Whoosh t-shirts, but we should. I mean, but it reminds me of the supermarket. You know, you always have the really kind of naughty stuff right at the end by the checkout desk.
Oh, that's
We-
true.
We should
Price
put
and
some- We
position.
should have put some product placement. I think.
We
Anyway,
should.
I totally agree with you, but I want to hear some more music.
Let's hear it.
Would you like to introduce this one, Katy?
I would. This is a track called Falling Thunder. Note, Simon gives me the easy titles to say. Falling Thunder by Rolling Blackouts Coastal Fever. Let's do it.
Well said.
Well, they don't know how hard it is to keep the story straight when you've been running close all night. You've been dusting with fate. Is it any wonder we're on the outside, falling like thunder from the sky? Call it by its name when you sit down. Hold it like a knife against you. Is it any wonder it stings? The sun is in our eyes. I keep my vision tied at all the deep seas. A stationary boy in a moving daydream. Down the corner, watching over liquid crystal simulation, like a ghost at the service station in some far-off fence post nation. Is it any wonder we're on the outside, falling like thunder from the sky? Call it by its name when you sit low. Hold it like a knife against you. Is it any wonder it stings? The sun is in our eyes, and we're changing with the season. Changing with the season. Is it any wonder we're on the outside, falling like thunder from the sky? Call it by its name when you sit low. Hold it like a knife against you. Is it any wonder it stings? The sun is in our eyes. Red lights fading, caught in the mirage. Leaves fall faster, even your bright eyes. Red lights fading, caught in the mirage. Leaves fall faster, even your bright eyes. Changing with the season, changing with the season. Did you ever want it? Did you want it bad? apart. Did you ever fight it? All of the pain, so much pride running through my veins. Bleeding, I'm bleeding. My cold little heart. Oh, I can't stand myself. And I know in my heart, in this cold heart, I can live or I can die. I believe if I just try. You believe in you and I. Did you ever notice I've been ashamed all my life? I've been playing games. We can try to hide it. It's all the same. I've been losing one day at a time. Bleeding, I'm bleeding. My cold little heart. Oh, I can't stand myself. And I know in my heart, in this cold heart, I can live or I can die. I believe if I just try. You believe in you and I. In my heart, in this cold heart, I can live or I can die. I believe if I just try. You believe in you and I. In you and I. In you and I.
Yeah, we all know that song. That is Cold Little Heart by Michael Kiwanuka, which was obviously the theme tune of a very popular American TV series called Big Little Lies. Michael Kiwanuka won the Mercury Prize this week, and that's why I played it. It's kind of celebration for him. He's a fantastic artist.
He is.
Yeah, he's a fantastic artist. I saw him interviewed by Jules Holland on TV, and he seems like such a nice guy as well. He just has something, but anybody, the emotion and the passion and the feeling that he gets into his music, I'm crazy about. Not the first time he's been on Whoosh, but there you go.
He was on episode 17. We played Hero, and then the bonus track for episode 17 is You Ain't the Problem.
Yeah.
Which I liked. I like that song a lot.
Yeah.
And he's been around since 2012, and he's probably has a bigger profile in the UK, but having the theme to Big Little Lies couldn't have hurt him. Did you watch Big Little Lies?
I saw some of it. I really liked the bits I saw. It's one of those series that I think I saw like episode 1, episode 2, and 3 perhaps, and then I came in. I don't know how many episodes were there in the series. Was it 12 or 10? But there's quite a few of them.
Yeah, it was an investment.
I missed episodes, but I thought it was the kind of thing that you were able to miss an episode and you could sort of fill in the gaps in your mind. And then I came, and then I saw the end of series 1, which kind of, I didn't have to watch any more of the whole series then, and I watched a bit of series 2, and then I watched the end of series 2. I thought it was fantastic. I thought Nicole Kidman was amazing.
She always
They're great
is.
cast, great music, and I thought the kids were fabulous too. They really invested time in giving the kids proper personalities. They
Mm-hmm.
weren't just little people who ran around looking cute and doing things. You know, for example, the girl who played the music, who the big music fan.
Mm-hmm. Sat in the
I
back
mean,
of her mom's car.
I've got one of those in the family, so
So you knew.
really, yeah,
It rang
totally.
very true to you.
Yeah, it did. I
Yeah.
liked it. It's good.
I liked it a lot too. I didn't get through all of season 2, but maybe this track has inspired me to find some time and go finish it up.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
yeah,
Do we have should we do some more questions?
yeah. Let's do that. Exactly that thing.
There's a question. Oh, wait. Is this for me? Katy, it is for me. Oh, thank you, Annette from the Netherlands for asking.
Yeah, I know Annette. Hello,
You did?
Annette. Hello, Annette.
You don't know Annette, do
I
you?
do. Yes, I think if it's the Annette from the Netherlands that I think it is.
Did you ask her to ask me a question?
I mean, if I said orange T-shirt, you would know Annette. But then I'm being a bit stupid, aren't I? Because everybody from the Netherlands wears orange T-shirts.
Orange T-shirts and carries a rucksack.
Yeah.
Katy, do you think that if you really, really, really liked a song and you asked Simon to put on the playlist for next week, would he do it? That's my question. And then Simon, and then here's the question for you. Would you? So I'm
Well,
going to go for, that's what I was just going to say.
You go first.
I have asked, and he has done 2 separate times. Both times he shortened the song.
I managed to find like a 20-second
A 20-second edit of each of the songs. One was by the Sugar Hill Gang, and then I can't remember the other one actually. But
I mean, they were fine pieces of music, but they
just didn't fit.
They didn't. But it was okay. I don't mind doing it as long as we don't have to listen to it. As long as it doesn't break the musical flow of the show. You can have a little dip into that stuff. I mean, you know, when you there might be other songs that you ask for, and I go, absolutely great. Let's put the whole song in. You know,
right? I rarely ask. I do get bands sometimes sending in submissions, which I sometimes send through.
I do like suggestions and submissions. And have we played any? Yes, we did. We played. Yeah, I mean, I thought that was great because that was actually the band. That's somebody who's in a band.
Yeah.
I've had other suggestions which I've listened to, and I kind of they sort of turned me on to other things which I thought were better. So, went there. But anyway,
here's another question for you.
Right.
Simon, you once mentioned in an interview ages ago that Nick and John used to steal your clothes and throw them out of hotel windows when they didn't like your outfit. And I've been mildly horrified and amused by the idea ever since. So did they really? And if it's true, how did you find out and get them to stop? Thanks so much for creating Whoosh. It's the best part of my week, Laura.
Oh, great. Well, Laura, let me tell you. They I've got to be honest with you. They don't have the fucking balls to actually do it themselves. They always got my girlfriend to do it for them.
Really?
Yes.
And then what would happen?
And then nothing really, because it would take me like sort of 6 months to figure out anything was missing, and it happened once. And I had it was one particular very nice pair of green and purple sort of peg leg trousers that I really liked. So they were kind of tartan. They were like a green and purple tartan with green and black and mauve tartan, and I really liked them, but obviously. Something about them upset Nick and John, or Nick, or John and Nick. And I had this lovely, beautiful Swedish girlfriend called Anna Lang at the time. What a lovely girl she is. And they managed to talk her into chucking her stuff out. Or maybe she looked at it and thought, well, she's a fashion designer. And I actually think that she probably agreed with them and thought they were a bit crap. I always thought they were great. And it was sort of like 6 months later, I went, where are those, Anna, do you know where those green and mauve trousers have got to? And she sort of looked at me like, I don't know. But
Would
I found out later from Nick and John, who seemed to be very, very proud of themselves that they'd
were they
managed
Bay
to
City
manipulate
Roller?
that. Nothing like that. No.
No, I'm just teasing you.
Bay
I know.
City
I'm
Roller.
just teasing you.
Shang-a-lang.
So I loved our next. I want to talk about our next track.
Okay,
I
great.
loved our
Yes.
next
Oh.
track,
Yeah.
which is not. It is not a typical Katy track
It really
by
isn't.
any means. It's called "I Grow Tired, But Dare Not Fall Asleep," which really the title alone, before I heard the song, really
Yes.
spoke to me.
Yes. Yeah.
It grabbed me right away.
It's definitely what you get when you got children, isn't it?
Yeah. So this Ghost Poet is a British singer, and if you're listening, I'm going to apologize right now because I'm going to pronounce your name. It is Obara Ejimi. Obara Ejimowi, I believe is his name, and he's a singer, songwriter, musician. And he goes by Ghost Poet, and he was shortlisted for the Mercury Prize in 2011. This song just tells a wonderful story. And what I thought was interesting is I read something in The Guardian where they called him the Professor of Pain, which didn't surprise me that they referred to him that way.
Uh-huh.
And this is what I really liked about him. After his record contract with his label expired, he moved to Margate to open a coffee shop. That's what he did. And then,
wow.
and in that coffee shop, he hosted gigs in the evening where he would perform. And he also started a radio station out of the coffee shop.
Yeah, he's just one of these. You can just tell he's a multi-talented artist. He's got a lot of energy, hasn't he? Got a lot of energy to do things and get things done. By the way, I think you got it absolutely right. Obara Ejimowi.
Oh, okay. For me, that was good.
That's how I would pronounce it. I mean, maybe if it's not how you pronounce your name, you can let us know. But anyway, but he's from Coventry, West Midlands, which is near where I come from. Well, sort of near where I surrogately come from. You know,
yes,
my second life in Birmingham. But he is. What I'd like to say is that he is absolutely. His vocal delivery is unique. I've never heard anybody deliver their lyrics and melody and in such a distinct style. He's just it doesn't sound like anybody I've ever heard before. It's more like recitatives kind of style, where you kind of sing a bit and talk as well. Top class. This is top class music, absolutely 100%. And I am so impressed by this artist, Ghost Poet. So see what you think. This is I Grow Tired, But Dare Not Fall Asleep.
No more letters, we destroy them more. Counting coins, bits of copper crud. Stare at the stars, feeling out of luck, out of time, out of time, out of my body, out of my mind. Maybe I've lost it, who even cares? Bury my head until this life becomes fair. And I grow tired, but then I fall asleep. Who knows what will await if I fall too deep? Call it a mission, call it an interfere, but I am awake, I am awake. And I grow tired, but then I fall asleep. Who knows what will await if I fall too deep? Call it a mission, call it interfere, but I am awake, I am awake. I swear in my dreams I saved you from a fool, and I was king. But then I drank it all, swayed off the road, caring for nothing much. Some say reckless, I say out of touch. I'm sick of the noise, why won't it let me be? Find on my own, but all these hands keep on grabbing me. I'm taking a chair, taking a stand, taking a piss because it seems that we can. So I grow tired, but then I fall asleep. Who knows what will await if I fall too deep? Call it a mission, call it an interfere, but I am awake, I am awake. So I grow tired, but then I fall asleep. Who knows what will await if I fall too deep? Call it a mission, call it an interfere, but I am awake, I am awake. Let's run away, let's leave it all behind. Only possessions, stuff we collect in time. Just feel different, itchy beneath my skin. Can't quite explain it, I'm constantly questioning. Can somebody tell me where the hell is the dimmer switch? Done with this thinking, laid out like a crucifix. And I want peace in my heart, in my inner being, but won't find it here with all this constant warmongering. And I just grow tired, but then I fall asleep. Who knows what I will await if I fall too deep? Call it a mission, call it an interfere, but I am awake, I am awake. And I grow tired, but then I fall asleep. Who knows what will await if I fall too deep? Call it a mission, call it an interfere, but I am awake, I am awake, I am awake.
Myself, yeah. I asked her to go with me, and no one else. She said, I'd really like to see you every day, but I'm afraid of what my friends might say. You need a bath, and your clothes are wrong. I can tell we wouldn't get along. I just laughed, what else could I do? Just then her friend chimed in singing, get a clue, get a life, put it in your song, put it in your song. There's something I've been meaning to say to you. I've been meaning to say to you. I've had enough, couldn't take it anymore. So I turned and I ran straight for the door. Bought some mags,
You're listening to Whoosh. That was Metairie by Brendan Benson. I just love this track. This was my favorite track of the episode and also my favorite video. And I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, this song came out in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan is an American musician, singer-songwriter. He plays guitar, bass, keyboard, drums. He has released 6 solo albums, and he is also a member of the band The Raconteurs. How do you like them apples?
Oh, that's cool. Well, I think that's fantastic.
How did you find this? That's why
I don't know. I think I was following a lead. I was going down. Do you remember that we played a track by the guy from the Dandy Warhols? I can't remember the name of the band right now. I can find it. We played the track by.
I don't
remember. Hold on. No, we played a track by Immigrant Union.
Right.
Which is, is it the drummer from the Dandy Warhols or one of the guys from the Dandy Warhols? I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And I was kind of thought we need a bit more of that sort of music on the show. So I was listening to more kind of like slightly folky country guitar, but not so electric.
Mm-hmm.
A bit more acoustic sounding. And I just started playing a bunch of things. I got I went down. I've just put in Immigrant Union. And I just followed the lead on Spotify. And I 40 pieces of music came up, and I just went through, and I wanted to go out of Ghost Poet into something that was different, but that wasn't like taking the piss. So I didn't want to go to from Ghost Poet from going no, I'm wide awake into something like Chai, for example.
Right.
Nice face. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? Because that'd be taking the piss.
Right. My friend Emily loved that song, by the way.
It's a great song. But anyway, let's get back on the case. So, but I found this song, Metairie, by Brendan Benson, and it just fitted perfectly after the Ghost Poet track. So it's different, and it was fresh, and it was a very different kind of feel.
It was. Because
you don't want to go. You don't really want to go down. You don't really want to get sort of too deep down the rabbit hole in another rabbit hole. Indeed, second rabbit hole for this conversation. With a vibe of music, unless you want to really get into a genre like that. And I think that sometimes you want different things. You don't listen to the same thing every track. That's the whole point of this playlist and this radio show, is that you don't get 5 grime tracks in a row or 5 punk tracks or 5 electronica tracks or 5-6 dance tracks. It changes, so you don't really get bored with the genre, and that's how I like to listen to music, unless I'm listening to albums, and that's a different thing.
You're a very good DJ. I would imagine that some of that comes from your career choice and what you've certainly been around the biggest and the best, yourself included, as a musician, but you just have a way of putting the tracks together that they just really fit.
Yeah,
it's good. You're good, man.
I really enjoy it. That's the thing. Sometimes I start doing next week's playlist as soon as I've stopped recording this. Sometimes I put two playlists together at the same time. I've done that before.
Have you ever put a playlist together and then right before you send it to me, you trade out a track? You're like, I'm not going to do this one.
Yeah,
you did?
Oh, absolutely. I did. Yeah. I've done it. I did it with this one, with something. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, I did. I fiddle around with it until it's right.
Right.
And it really is. I don't want to unbalance it with too many of one thing, too much of one thing. You just said that. Come on, let's move on.
Let's move on.
You got a question?
I do. I have a question from someone named Nicole, who says, I love listening to Whoosh every week and thank both Simon and Katy for such great episodes. I just watched the trailer for the game Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which has music by Notorious B.I.G., which samples Duran Duran's Notorious.
Absolutely.
How does Simon feel about music sampling? Is it flattering or does it seem lazy? Are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
He's thinking.
Well,
There's
I mean,
steam
it's-
coming out of his
how
ears.
do I feel about sampling? Well, it's not the binary answers. It's not like a multiple choice question with those two answers that you put in. Because how I feel about streaming, about sampling, is it's great, and even better if you get paid properly.
Right.
Hey, Diddy, you listening?
Oh, down.
Well, no, he did eventually, but we had to get stuck in with the lawyers and everything before we got a penny.
I think people sort of feel. I think that landscape has changed, but certainly initially when sampling was still being done, was starting to be done, it was a little sloppy. I think now it's not.
And, you know, it's up to artists to enforce their own rights.
Right. You know, I have a list.
Nobody's going to do it for you. If you don't assert your own rights, then you can't expect somebody else to do it for you. And actually, that is sad because there are a lot of people who maybe don't have the wherewithal or the, you know, maybe they're too shy to do that, or maybe they just can't afford to get the right legal representation. So I think that well, now you've got the musicians union for that though. As well.
You know, about a year ago, Nick tasked me with putting together a grid or a spreadsheet of every Duran Duran song that was sampled.
Yeah.
And it's not as hard as it might sound to actually put it together.
There's not that many people who've done it, right?
No, there were loads. Don't be crazy.
Really?
Yeah. But not every song was, you know, is a hit. But what do you think the most sampled Duran Duran song is? Because it's not going to be what you think.
I think it is what I think.
Go ahead.
Save a Prayer.
That's right. How'd you know? It's
because it's not just the down, 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 down. It's the woo, woo, woo.
Oh yeah.
Woo.
How did you know?
I think I don't know how I knew, but I do know.
You did know. I was surprised when I collated the list. I was like, I wouldn't have chose that.
I mean, we all in the band seem to be fielding more and more requests for music use as time goes by. Honestly, I mean, 3, 4, 5 things a week, different things, whether it's a request to sample a track or a request to you know, for approval for a cover version or a request to use music in a TV production or film production. You know, all that kind of stuff. It seems to be accelerating. That's a good place to be in.
I'll say.
I'm so glad they're interested, and the people at Megas Entertainment are doing a fantastic job of organising it all.
Yes.
And yeah.
Fabulous. There's a new TV show out by David E. Kelly, who, to tie it in, put together the Big Little Lies. And it's called, I think it's called Big Sky.
Right.
It looks a little Lynchian, and they're doing a big promo behind it. And they use Hungry Like the Wolf in one of their...
they do?
Yeah, in one of their commercial trailers. Yeah, good. Pretty cool. We have a question from Museum Girl 3782. Museum Girl did not put in her real name or his real, Museum Girl, but whatever, whomever you are. This one is for Katy. Woo, Katy. This one's for Katy. Do you have to license all the music you play on Whoosh? If so, do you have to pay, or is it considered fair use, which I believe is called fair dealing in the UK? I am a fine art copyright specialist, but I know music is a whole other ballywick. Love you guys. Museum Girl 3782.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the deal. We don't license because we're not an entity. We're not a business, Simon and I. And so we're not generating an income in doing this. So there were 2 workarounds. Initially, we had the podcast on YouTube. And because we are protected by the umbrella of Rhino and Warner Brothers, which Duran Duran are associated with, we could use the songs because they have agreements with other labels.
Yes.
And this is a promotion vehicle. Then when Spotify came calling, because they came to us, our podcast on Spotify is really a playlist.
Yeah.
Therefore, what that means is you could listen to Simon and I talking and not have to listen to the songs, or vice versa. You could just listen to the songs.
I don't know anybody who does that.
And not,
if anybody actually just listens to the talking and not to the songs,
I
I'd love
think
to hear
there
from
are people who do that. But so in that way, because there's songs on Spotify pays the artists. What in a perfect world, Simon and I would have a sponsor for Whoosh, and then we would be a proper podcast. It would probably make it easier for some people to listen to as well. So this is our pitch. Simon, do the pitch. Do the pitch.
Okay, yeah. Hello, I'm Simon LeBon. I'm here with Katy Krassner. We are Whoosh, which is a radio show, extremely popular worldwide, in fact.
Worldwide.
And we are looking for sponsorship so that we can free ourselves a little bit more and become a fully fledged podcast. And if you are listening and you've got a business that you want to promote on the Whoosh website, please get in touch with Katy Krassner, and she's going to give you the email address.
Well, email me at Whoosh Radio, WHOOOSH radio @gmail.com. And in all seriousness, not only promote on the Whoosh website, but you would be the sponsor of the Whoosh Radio podcast.
Yeah.
Why not, man?
Yeah. And you know, I got to say, we're not cheap, but we won't take the piss. I promise.
No, seriously, Simon stopped ordering us each a carafe of wine for each episode. a couple of eps back.
A case of Chateau.
Yes, a little bit, and a Diet Pepsi for me. So we have the next track is by a band that is making its third appearance on Whoosh. It's Simon's.
It's bound to happen.
Yeah, it's Salt. They were on episodes 8 and 12. On episode 8, we played Don't Waste My Time. That's right. On 12, we played Up All Night. So Simon clearly loves this artist. I
think they've just this artist, Salt, and it seems like a real collective. You know, they've got a great girl singer, and the music is wonderful. They're very prolific. They've made a lot of music, and I just keep coming across it and going, oh my god, and that one's good too. And you're going to hear that on this radio show. You're going to hear repeat performances from bands because it's not about the bands, it's about the music. And so here it is. So third time lucky. Not that you're not lucky already, but third time luckier. That's what I meant to say. Here it is. Salt, third time luckier on Whoosh. This is Wildfires.
Spread light.
Great track. It's like a warm, comfortable bed.
That is a good track. That might be my
It is.
favorite Salt track that you've played.
So it might be my favorite track of the show today. It was, yeah, fantastic. It's just so comfortable and comforting. It really calms me down. That did actually. In a
It
nice
did.
way.
It's sort
Very
of like
nice
a
way.
meditation.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we'll be seeing more of this band. I've noticed, I think I sent you a text that I've been listening a lot to U2X radio on Sirius XM because I like U2 a lot. Simon knows I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
But I notice a lot of tracks, not a lot of tracks, a lot of artists that have been on Whoosh are ending up on U2X radio several weeks after we play a song.
Do you think they're using us as a research engine?
Maybe I do, and I'm not. I don't have.
Why haven't we got a radio station on them?
Serious? What about
Sirius.
your friend Scott? Let's talk
Yeah.
to him. Gosh. Okay.
I mean, how many songs do you have to come up with?
Just this. They should be playing this, man.
Yeah.
I think they should. I'm going to get on that too. I have good news and bad news. I'm going to start with the good news.
Okay, great. What's the good news, Katy?
My kids go back to school tomorrow.
Oh, that's great news. That's great news.
2 days of freedom. I mean, no offense, kids, but really. And the bad news is it's the end of the show.
No.
Yeah.
No. All right.
But you know what's exciting? Next week is going to be episode 25, and we have a surprise for you. We haven't figured out quite yet exactly what the surprise is going to be.
Just keep your mouth shut, Katy. But there will be some kind of surprise.
Yeah,
Hey,
just keep
maybe
looking.
we'll play some music. Okay.
Yeah. So our next track is by Black Honey.
Yes.
It's a song called Beaches.
Yes.
It was when I watched their video, it's a quarantine production, which always makes me smile when people are trying to be clever and creative. It had those guitars like Bambara did, those sort of beachy, kind of dancey guitars. I love the chorus.
Yeah.
They're a 4-piece indie rock band from Brighton. And some people say that they sound a bit like Nancy Sinatra or Mazzy Star or Blondie. And I agree with all of them. What do you think?
Well, I think that this track by Black Honey, Beaches, is a great way to go out. It's kind of lifts the energy, puts you in the right mood for what you want to do next. And I think it's a fantastic track. And we've got the bonus track coming up by Parcels afterwards. That's called Overnight. It's been a really great show. I've loved the music we've played, and I've loved chatting to you, Katy.
I love chatting with you.
Hope anybody out there who's listening has loved it as much or half as much as we have. Here you go, guys. See you soon. This is Black Honey with Beaches.
So you never wanna let me go.
I was wishing it's overnight. The minute I was thinking to hold you back. The moment I was wishing it's overnight. The minute I was thinking to hold you back. The moment I was wishing it's overnight. The minute I was thinking to hold you back. The moment I was wishing it's overnight. Slow down, never. I know now, I know better. I need it more than ever. Go back under, hold that I fall on track. It's all I've said and done overnight. The minute I was thinking to hold you back. The moment I was wishing it's overnight. The minute I was thinking to hold you back. The moment I was wishing it's overnight. The minute I was thinking to hold you back. The moment I was wishing it's overnight. The minute I was thinking to hold you back. The moment I was wishing it's overnight. It's overnight. The minute I was thinking to hold you back. The moment I was wishing. The minute I was thinking to hold you back. The moment I was wishing it's overnight.